Hey guys, Comic Book Steve here again with another haul. This one's some books from new releases the past few weeks, and a bunch of books from New England Comics. They're having like a sale going on for. It's been going on since mid-November. I think it's going on until the beginning first week of December. 50% off back issues, 20% off wall books, 20% off like supplies. So I went there to the one in Quincy and picked up some stuff. Their dollar bins over there looked like they were had more inventory than I noticed before, or some new inventory that is. So I took some books from there, and I also got some new releases from the past like 2 weeks. So anyway, let's jump into it. First one we got up is Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur #1. This is the regular cover. I haven't read all of these yet. I flipped through. I think I read Moon Girl. Some of these I haven't read yet. Moon Girl was pretty good. I think the only weird part about it was they brought in some continuity from the old Devil Dinosaur book, which I have the first issue, but I haven't actually read the series. So I was a little lost on that stuff. I thought it kind of weighed down the book a bit, but other than that, I thought it was fun. Lunella is a cool character, Moon Girl. And seeing Devil Dinosaur again in a modern book is always fun. And I also picked up the rap variant for Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur. I thought that cover was fun. So that's that one. Then we got Silk #1. I love the art in this book. I haven't read it yet, but I'm excited to start reading that one. I didn't follow the other series to the end. I think I only read like the first 2 issues. But I might go back and check it out now. I really like Stacey Lee as an artist. I think she's pretty awesome, and I wish I would have had her do like one of my sketch covers at the Boston Comic Con. I think I have the sketch variant for Spider-Gwen and the Infinity Gauntlet Secret Wars book, so that would have been fun to have her do something on there. But yeah, so this looks cool. Let's see, Guardians of the Galaxy #2. This one, I'm not crazy about the cover. I think it looks pretty crappy. Even though I love Adams, I don't know, something about it just doesn't speak to me. I haven't read this one yet either, so excited to check it out though. I really like the first issue. All New Wolverine #2. This was a lot of fun. Still enjoying this book a lot. Enough said. Then we got Venom Space Knight, the toy variant. The Newberry Comics I went to get my new releases this week. They didn't have the regular cover for this issue, which I thought was strange. They only had this variant and the rat variant. I don't really care for the rat variant, but I really like the toy variant, so I grabbed that one. I read the issue. I'm not sold. I like Venom, Flash Thompson, Agent Venom. I'm not crazy about this Space Knight angle they're doing, and I'm not entirely sold on the like the evolution of the symbiote since he's been a part of the Guardians. Not totally sold on it. I mean, they try to push the fact that they try to evolve the character, and I appreciate that. Where now the symbiote is free of rage, they say. Although, as you can see here, they'll still have the symbiote do this like menacing face every so often, just to like give it a nod to like the older days of Venom, which is nice, but it doesn't really make sense if the symbiote has lost its rage. I guess unless Flash Thompson is like, hey, this looks cool, I'm gonna keep using it. It just commands the symbiote to do that. But either way, I'm not entirely sold on this book. Probably will not be continuing it unless like the next few issues have some interesting first appearances of characters that look cool. But I was never really into like space opera books or like space adventure books. Guardians of the Galaxy was like the only one that I really had any interest in, and this one I'm not too crazy about. But we'll see. Maybe I'll give #2 a try. Then we got the Mighty Thor #1. They had a few variants at Newberry, but I really love this cover. This #1 cover. It's like a fold out Russell Dauterman is one of the best artists, hands down, working at Marvel right now. And I hope they can hold on to him for a while, because it really helps the series a lot. The writing is great too, but that artist is knocking it out of the park. I mean, it's just really good. So yeah, big fan of the female Thor, as you'll see more of her stuff in my haul here. Then we got Miss Marvel #1, the Camilla Khan. The Newbery I went to only had one copy left of this regular cover. I did go to a few other ones after this new release day, and they did have a few on the shelf, so that was like a week later. So I don't think it was like a super rare comic or anything. I don't know why it sold out of the regular cover at that one Newbery and Faneuil Hall, but this was the last copy, so picked that up. It's a cool story. I'm still on the fence about this book. I like Camilla Khan a lot. I really like when Adrian Alfona does the art. I'm not crazy about I can't pronounce his last name. The other guy, Mizawa. His art looks a little more childish to me. Alfona is just such an interesting style that really like brings a lot of emotion and detail to the characters and makes them look unique, which I think is a rare and awesome thing, that if an artist can do that, make each character look like different from the next one, rather than all their females look the same and all their men look the same. I find that to be a problem, especially with like the way artists draw like females. I find it more often than not the females look pretty similar. Yeah. So the issue is good. It does suffer from some of the young adult nonsense of like, oh, he loves this guy, he doesn't love me anymore. So that kind of turns me off. But I do like the character, and when it hits its moments, it hits really hard. So I really like it most of the time. This issue was a little like, it's okay. But I'll stick with it and see what happens. Then I also picked up the toy variant, so that was pretty cool. And that's it for my new releases from the past 2 weeks. I checked next week's. Looks like I think there's only like 2 books I'm gonna pick up next week. Actually, can't remember what it was that comes out next week. Oh yeah, Spidey #1. That one looks like a lot of fun. But anyway, so these next 3 are from eBay. I got X-Men Adventures #1. That was like $1 or something. This was the series that came out in the 90s to coincide with the it's like the adaptation of the TV series, the cartoon, as you can tell by the team on the cover. The significance of this book is that it's the first appearance of Morph. The character of Morph was kind of like wasn't necessarily 100% unique to the cartoon. There was like a Morph character in the X-Men in the early days. But the character that the way they introduced him into the cartoon was almost totally different from the comic book version at the time. Enough that it was like a different character. And this is technically his first appearance. And this would be the Morph that was in Age of Apocalypse, and the Morph that was in that then inspired the Exiles character. I don't think they use Morph very much anymore, but I just thought this was a cool one to hold on to. It's a cheap one, so why not? We do have a lot of like shape-shifting characters running around, so he's not a totally unique and necessary character, but I always thought it was fun. So especially the Age of Apocalypse version. Then I picked up this guy, Thor God of Thunder #25, the 1 in 25 variant. Don't really like the cover that much, but it's the first cameo of Jane Foster as the female Thor. She appears quickly in like one double-page spread when Thor's future granddaughters are going through his unworthy book, and they're like, "Who is this? Who's this female holding the hammer of Thor?" And then older Thor closes the book and gets angry. But anyway, so it's technically her first appearance if you go by cameos. This is the 1 in 25 variant. It's the last issue of that series, and it is, I mean, it was only like $10 on eBay, so I figured for 1 in 25 with the first appearance, that's pretty good. And I think the character seems to be sticking around. And I like the series, so I figured I'd pick up the first appearances. I already had the regular edition of 25, but the 1 in 25 variant was a fun one to get for under 10. $9.99. So I guess it's after shipping, it wasn't under 10. I always forget to add the shipping. Then I got this one. I think this cover is actually way better than the other one. This is the first series for Lady Thor, the Fiona Staples variant, which I didn't know Fiona Staples did a variant for this. It's very cool. It's 1 in 25. It was also about $10. It was either $7.99 or $10. I forget which one. It was either number 25 was $7.99 or this one was $7.99. One of them was $9.99. Whatever. But anyway, the cover is really awesome. This is her first full appearance as the Lady Thor. It's a really awesome cover. So it's 1 in 25 variant. So under 10, before shipping, I figured why not? It'd be a cool one to hold on to. I'd be excited to see this character show up into the movies. Although I would not want her to be played by Natalie Portman anymore. Do not like Natalie Portman. She's cute. Don't get me wrong, but her acting. I just don't see her carrying like an action film. At least as like the main character. Then we got, this was in the dollar bin at New England Comics, so I thought that was a lot of fun. Century number 1. I usually try to look for this one. It's like on my peripheral radar, if that makes any sense. So it's one that when I start to see Century books in the dollar bins or in back issue bins, I'll take a quick look to see if number 1's there, and if it's not, I won't pick up any. But I always wanted to get number 1 just to have the first appearance. I had it in the dollar bin, so I grabbed it. It's really nice condition, black cover, so you can tell it doesn't have any like spine ticks or anything super wrong with it. So I was pretty pleased. It's not a character they use a lot anymore, or at all. He died during Siege, which was an awesome storyline. But I'm not crazy about the power set of the character. I think it's kind of boring. He's kind of like a Superman. I'm too powerful for everything character, but I really like the angle of him having like a multiple personality disorder, and his worst enemy is himself, literally. So I thought that was fun. It'd be cool to see them do something within like the Marvel Cinematic Universe, but yeah, so that was a cool find. This was also in the dollar bin. This is Spider-Woman number 50, the last issue of the first series where she like dies, quote unquote, then gets brought back like 2 months later, 3 months later in Avengers. It's a really weird way how she died. I'm not gonna go into it, but this one I don't see too often. It's not like super expensive, but it's a final issue. I like final issues. It's in pretty decent shape for a book that was in the dollar bins. The pages look a little brown. There's no like severe issues with it though. I think there was like one, yeah, if you can see when the light catches the cover, you can see some dents on the top. That's probably its biggest problem. Not sure how those got there, but yeah, for $1, I'll take it. This guy was also in the dollar bin. This was Venom number 40 from the Flash Thompson Venom. I love that costume. I like that a lot better than this Space Knight costume. Anyway, I got this because I like the cover a lot. It's not the first appearance of this character. I do want to track down the first appearance of her, but overall it's a pretty cool looking cover, so couldn't beat $1. Then I got this one. This one, Hulk 88. This was about $2 after the half off sale. It's a little beat up, not like horribly. It's got like a little fold up in the corner over there, and there's some spine ticks on the side. It's not too bad. Anyway, this is the first part of the prelude to Planet Hulk, which is, this one doesn't really go for as much as the first part of World War Hulk, but I think it's a cool one to have. I think it's almost as important because it kind of kicks off the events that lead into Planet Hulk. So yeah, that was that. Then this one was on the wall. This was 20% off of, I think it was priced at $5 or $6. This is the variant, 1 in 25 variant for Spider-Gwen number 2. I thought it was a cool cover, so I thought I'd pick it up for the 20% off sale. I was surprised they had this for under 10 for the 1 in 25. Usually they like to price things up pretty high, especially for the 1 in 25 variants. I usually see those at like 10 to 15 at New England, so I don't know if that's I think I went over this last time when I found the all new Wolverine and all new Avengers variant 1 in 25 variants for under 10. But it was interesting to me. I thought it was telling that, or might be telling that variants aren't doing quite as well all the time. It is kind of getting a little obnoxious when you get like a first appearance of a book, and then the character gets hot, and then you're like, oh, I don't have the variant, so that's the one that everyone wants. It is kind of annoying, but we'll see. I actually missed the early 2000s when they didn't do variants and they didn't do reorders very often. They didn't do second prints either, which is kind of lame. I like second prints, but you know, whatevs. Then we get Spider-Man 2099 number 1, the design variant. This was another 20% off guy. I think this was like $5. It's got some issues with it. Last time I checked it, I think it had some spine bends. I don't really see them now though, so maybe sticking under a bunch of like heavy books fixed it a little bit. But anyway, I wasn't specifically looking for any of the variants from this issue, but since they had the sale and it was there, I figured why not. And then we get, this guy was from the back issue bin. I think I paid $1.50 for this. This is Spectacular Spider-Man number 225. This was during the middle of the Clone Saga, and it was the first introduction of the new Green Goblin, who was Ben Urich's son, Phil Urich, who is now the Goblin, who was the new Hobgoblin and now is the Goblin Knight or the Goblin King. I saw him just recently in the Silk number 1 issue. So they're still using him. There was another appearance of him that predates this in Web of Spider-Man 125, which is part of this like Clone Saga storyline. But it's like I guess you can consider that the first appearance. But he appears in like 2 pages, and then this is like the full introduction. So yeah, it's not an expensive book. The reason why I got this one mostly was because of it's the unenhanced variant. The enhanced edition has like a hologram up here that looks kind of crappy. So it's always fun to find these non-enhanced variants hanging around. You don't see them as often as you see the other ones. I'm not sure what the print runs were on those, but they're always fun to find. And this one was in the dollar bin. This is New Mutants 26, the first full appearance of Legion. Not an expensive book. I could definitely get more than $1 for it. I think it goes for about 5, 6, or 7. I think he's supposed to have like a TV show starring him, but you know, until it happens, I wouldn't bet on it, or until like somebody gets cast, at least. It's not like a hot book or anything, but for $1, you know, first full appearance of the son of a major character, at least. I don't know if I'd call Legion a major character anymore, but I thought this was kind of fun to get. So I was debating not getting it. Not a huge X-Men fan, but you know, for $1, like I said, first full appearance of a character, I figured I might as well go for it. And then the last one I got was from the back issue bins. This was like about $4.99 before the 50% off sale. It's a cool cover. I just started watching Jessica Jones when I picked this up, the Netflix series, which is really awesome, by the way. We finished it, my wife and I, and we loved it. So you know, we binged through. I think we finished it in like 3 days last weekend, but it was pretty awesome. It just sucks I had to wait like 6 months or more for the next series to come out, which is going to be Luke Cage, so that should be fun. Or will it be Daredevil? I think Daredevil's filming right now, so maybe Daredevil Season 2 will beat it. Or maybe they'll put 2 out at once. That would be interesting. Anyway, so this was a fun vampire cover. There is one problem with it, and this is what kills me about like buying back issues, and not back issues, because I don't really want to like sit there and open every book, find out what the inside looks like. Although I guess that would be a smart thing to do, because I keep running into like problems with back issues. So this guy, this was probably an error when they printed it. I'm sure that New England Comics didn't even know about it. So it's got this like weird page that was like folded on itself and was printed like larger than it should have been. It just drives me nuts. It's like a waste of time, you know. It's like if this book ever like became expensive, my copy would definitely not be part of that. So it was pretty annoying. I do like the cover a lot though, so there's a win there, I guess. And it was only like $250 or something like that. So not a horrible loss. Alright guys, that's about it. Hoping everyone's having a great Thanksgiving, staying safe and eating turkey or whatnot. We actually just ate some chicken legs and random vegetables and stuff. So it was just my wife and I, since we're like fairly far away from our families. Her family's in China, and my family's in Florida and New York mostly. So yeah, but it was fun. We had a good time. But anyway, I hope you guys are all hanging out with families and doing your thing and eating turkeys and stuff. And yeah, so I'll catch you all later. Take care.